Nah, baby. Are you ready for pool parties and backyard barbecues? This dude sure ain't. Bro, no one's gonna eat that food when you're out here seasoning it with your chest hair. Be ready to man the grill. Go to manscaped.com and get yourself the Lawnmower 3.0, the best personal trimmer for your butt, balls, and body. Featuring skin-safe technology, this trimmer helps to reduce nicks and snags. And the 7,000 RPM motor helps to ensure an easy cut even through the thickest bush. Did I forget to mention that it's waterproof? Now you can trim anywhere. There you go, buddy. Head over to manscaped.com and get yourself the Lawnmower 3.0. And for a limited time, get free shipping and a free shed travel bag.
It seemed like I had an extra gear.
I take it for pretty much anything.
It was a subtle difference, but a very noticeable difference.
I felt hyper-focused.
It helped me be present.
I'm able to recall everything so much faster.
I'm able to choose words that more encapsulate my thoughts.
It will help with your creativity.
A lot more relaxed, a lot more calm.
At the end of the day, like, I still feel like I can go a whole nother day.
I've been way more productive.
I've just been able to get so much more stuff done.
It does stuff.
I love it.
It does not get better than this.
Dude, I give this 10 thumbs up.
Alpha Brain, stop killing yourself and be a savage like your Uncle Joey.
What are you trying to accomplish and what makes you happy?
It ain't about the money. It's not about the brand. It's not about any of that. It's about, did I move the people?
All right, welcome back to the Final Shot Podcast. Today, the show is brought to you by USG Canada. They make some of the finest combat sports gear in the business. MMA gloves, boxing gloves, groin protectors, headgear, walkout gear, custom walkout gear. And we're not just talking about any kind of custom walkout gear. They have subliminal there's no patches on your shit. It's all put into the fabric. It's pretty cool. So check them out. Hit up my guy Howie at usgcanada.com and get you some shit. Especially if you're going through COVID and you got a quarantine. You're gonna need a heavy bag and some boxing gloves just to stay in shape. Because you ain't going out and you're not spending $25,000 on a whole bunch of weights. That's for sure. We're also brought to you by TKO Beards. If you got a man muff, you got to hit up TKO Beards. They got some of the greatest beard products I've ever put in my beard. If you guys have been listening to this show since I've been doing it 2014, I've never ever shaved. Just my head. Because I can't grow fucking hair up there. Check out TKO Beards. Use the promo code The Final Shot and you'll save 10% off your purchase. Now we've got kind of the next sponsor is a little risque, I would say. And a lot of people, I've got some flack online about it. I've had some ladies hit me up and say, that's sexist. Well, guess what? It's really not, because ladies, you guys have so many things made for you that you can go into these funny stores and buy. And nobody bats an eye at it. But when I start talking about a fleshlight, you guys get all upset. Now, my guest today, Tanner, do you know what a fleshlight is?
No, I'm not too sure what that is.
All right. So you guys are on the road, and I don't know what you guys are doing, fucking around with cows. You got rope burn on your hand. You might not want to touch yourself with all those calluses. So this is a fleshlight.
Yeah, you're good to go. You're set then.
You're good to go. Hit up Fleshlight. Use the promo code TFS Podcast, and you'll save some money off your purchase. And don't hate on it. Just use it. Our next sponsor, Pendleton Whiskey. Made from glacier-fed water, apparently. It's the true Western tradition made for the rodeo using time-honored methods of oak barrel aging for a rich, complex flavor and an uncommonly smooth finish. Tanner, you know all about this.
Oh, yeah. The goods right there.
Yeah. The PBR, one of the main sponsors of the PBR is Pendleton Whiskey. 19 years, whatever province you're in or whatever country you're in, 21. Make sure you're not getting shit-faced and driving either. That's not fun. Our next sponsor is 19 plus or 21 plus to Sovereign Extracts. CBD THC drops. I recommend CBD for anybody doing any kind of combat or high impact sport, such as bull riding or a bullfighter, as my guest is today, or if you're getting punched in the face for a living. CBD is one of the greatest things on the planet. If you have to do a piss test, you won't piss test positive. It's actually the counteractive to THC. So check out Sovereign Extracts and use the promo code The Final Shot, and you'll save some money on your purchase. And last but not least, these people don't give me no money. And I've talked about them a few times on the podcast. I'm actually wearing their hat. We're going to talk about it a little bit right now with my guest, Tanner Byrne, who former rodeo, I should say bull rider, now bullfighter. I'm not the biggest fan of that name because there's bullfighting that goes on in other countries. That's not exactly what this gentleman does. More like a cowboy protection agency is what I like to call it.
Yeah.
But the Ty Posbon Foundation, you're the president, you run that thing.
Yeah, there's a big group of us, our board of directors and everybody that's involved. But I stand as the president of the Ty Posbon Foundation. Yes, and Ty was a really good friend of mine and lost his battle with mental illness and took his own life. So we started the foundation in his honor. And it's a way to take care of Western lifestyle participants inside and outside the arena. So there's no teams in the sport of bull riding or in the Western lifestyle. You're on your own out there. So Ty Posbon Foundation came in and just wanted to make sure that it was taking care of all those people in that realm, doing it the right way, making sure everybody was taken care of, proper health care, proper doctors inside the arena, as well as follow-up appointments. Concussion knowledge, just kind of everything that other sports have that we were lacking in the Western lifestyle. We've kind of come into play that way and make sure that we can take care of all the participants in the Western lifestyle.
Now, I did talk about the Ty Posbon Foundation on a couple podcasts, but specifically one, I was talking to Brock Radford. And some lovely human being decided they were going to send me a hat. I have no idea who it was. They're like the address on it was bogus. There was no name, but whoever you are, thank you very much. I love the hat. It's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. And the thing with the hats and the merchandise, all of our merchandise that you can get online, typosbon.com. Every single dollar that goes back to the Western lifestyle participants. So whether it be through sports medicine teams at the different events or care outside of the arena, every single dollar goes right back to making sure that Western lifestyle participants are taken care of.
So I'll repeat it. There's no profits that are going anywhere else other than to helping other people.
Yeah, everybody on our board of directors, myself included, we're all volunteer just to make sure that this thing is sustainable and doing the right thing for everybody involved.
Now let's get into you a little bit because I've had 3 bull riders on the show. From what I understand, they're probably 1, 2, and 3 in Canada right now, give or take a spot. But they all mention your name.
Cool.
One, they said you're a character, and 2, they said that more than one time you've bailed their ass out of some shit.
Which kind? I don't know. Yeah, probably inside and outside the arena, both, all of them.
So Brock Radford, Jared Parsonage, and Dakota Butter.
Yeah, you got a good list of guys right there. That's your top dogs, not only in Canada but in the whole world. Those guys have went head to head with the best all across the world and showed what they're made of. All 3 tough guys, all 3 really, really good bull riders that'll go down in history as not only some of the best in Canada, but some of the best in the world.
Yeah, they're amazing human beings too. They're all super nice. Brock is a little crazy.
He's a wildcat.
He's the wild card of the bunch, but they're all super nice guys. And it goes with the territory of what you guys are doing and the way of lifestyle that you guys choose to live. That kind of Western, I'm going to wear a cowboy hat and you take off my head, I might slap you in the face. That kind of shit. But, yeah, all nice guys. But they all mentioned your name. And I'm guessing it's probably from doing the cowboy protection stuff where you've grabbed a hold of them and yanked them out of a tight spot.
Yeah, I think so. And the thing with me, so I rode bulls for many years, right? So I shared a locker room with all those guys. We're all kind of around the same age. We all, kind of went south around that same time. And the sport of bull riding, like I said earlier, you're on your own, right? There's no team or anybody involved. So the guys that you're riding against, so to speak, although you're not really riding against them, you're riding against the bull. But those guys that you're competing against, those end up being your teammates. Those are your best friends. Though you spend more time with those people than you do with your family. So we're flying and driving all over the, America, Canada, Australia, anywhere, right? Whenever there's events that we're going to, you kind of stick with those guys that So we all end up traveling together and really getting to know each other really well. So we got to know each other through the riding side of it. And then when I made the switch over to bullfighting, it's still in the same realm. It's, still getting to be with all those same guys. It's just kind of, I always said it's like switching jobs in the same company. I'm still part of the same group, same company. I'm just doing a different job in the game.
You can't be terribly old.
20. I just turned 28.
You're young. I just turned 38 today. Today's my birthday.
Happy birthday, man!
Thanks, dude.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But
I'm honored to be on your show on your birthday.
Oh, thank you. But when you say 28 years old, where I come from, the combat sports world, you're just getting started.
Yeah.
And in your world, 28 years old, like when you look at a guy like Parsonage, he's a little long in the tooth for bull riding now.
Yeah, it kind of depends on the person, I guess. You know what I mean? There's guys that are, like you say, hit their prime at 28 and will ride bulls until they're 38 years old. There's guys in the game right now that are between 36 and 38 years old and still rolling. It's back in the day, it was kind of more, if you're a bull rider, you were similar to the rock star life, right? You didn't work out, you smoked cigarettes and party and do whatever the hell you wanted to do. And lots of them didn't last as long, I would say. And nowadays there's all these young guys that are taking it so serious and working out and treating themselves like such professional athletes that they take care of themselves a little better, they can last a little longer. And that's not to say that back in the day there wasn't guys that took care of themselves and did that, but it's just I think coming through more now that you see more guys lasting longer in the sport. So it's just, to me, it's just like any other sport. Some guys peak early, some guys peak later, and the guys that can have that longevity are the ones that usually make the most money, that they can roll until they're 34, 35 years old. I turned 26 or 27 and I, couldn't keep my body together and just was sick of life on the road and trying to make a living as a bull rider. And I always wanted to fight bulls. And so for myself, luckily I had somewhere to switch into and change into a different career path. But for lots of guys, they just try to, grind it out until they're at 30, 31, 32. And I feel like that's kind of when more of the injuries start to come into play, when you're not really wanting to be there and doing the job at 100%. So just like anything, I guess, it's your attitude towards it. It's your mindset towards it. What you're doing outside the arena that's going to give you that success in the arena. If you think you're an old man and you're getting long in the tooth, you're going to be done pretty soon in your career. You gotta have that mental attitude that you're badass and nothing can stop you and nothing's going to get in your way of winning titles no matter how old you are. So I think it's all, especially in bull riding, because you're dealing with 2,000-pound animal. It's going to take you down. You got to have a warrior mindset that nothing can beat you.
So was there an accumulation of injuries before you decided to transition over into bullfighting, or were you just stopping before it happened?
No, I was crippled up quite a bit through my career. I was lucky when I was younger, and I think I jinxed myself because I was always saying I haven't had to deal with a bunch of shit like everybody else has had to deal with. And then I turned like 25 or 26, and kind of everything just started happening. There was one season that I started the year and ended up getting on a practice bull at home and got stepped on my back, and it stepped right on my back and broke my collarbone in half, but it snapped my shoulder blade in half too. So that was kind of a bad one. I was messed up for a while, and nobody, you only usually break your shoulder blade like a car accident or something. So the doctors I had weren't really sure on what to do with that, but I just let her heal up so like a broken collarbone and tried to come back, but I came back too early. About 8 weeks in, the next one I got on was in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and just strung me out, and ended up stepping on my one leg and then getting his horn up underneath my other leg, and it just totally split me. Just totally split me in half. So tore everything you can tear in your groin totally off the bone, gracilis, adductor, whatever the hell they all are in there. It was filthy. And that was another one. I ended up, after like 2 months of not being able to get around or do anything, I got in touch with the Calgary Flames doctor and went to him, and we were going to do surgery or figure out what the heck we were going to do. And he was just like, just leave it alone. Just let her sit, see how it starts feeling. And same thing. I took a few months off and started to kind of feel better, and came back. And about the second or third bull I got on, I ended up breaking my ankle and breaking my wrist on the same one. So it was just kind of a write-off year. It was a shit year, and there's probably something else going on telling me just to stay at home for a little while. So and that's minor compared to a lot of injuries that guys have and things that take you out and play on your body and play on the toll. But for me, it wasn't injuries that took me out of the game. It was wanting to do this other side of the sport that I've always wanted to do. My family is a family of bullfighters, my brothers and my dad, legendary bullfighters in the game. My dad was the first one to ever go to the NFR as a bullfighter, Canadian, in '86. And then my brother Jesse has been in the World Finals in Vegas like 12 times or something, but he was the first one to ever go to the finals in that. So growing up, I knew that bullfighting side of it really more than I did the bull riding. I was good at riding bulls. I was winning and kicking ass, so I never stopped to try to do the other side of it. So it was something that I've always done in the practice pens and helping out whenever I needed to help out, but never did it full time. And figured if I didn't do it when I made the switch, I was 27. And if I didn't do it then, I was going to be, like you say, past my prime. My body won't be in the best shape to do it. I'll get hurt more riding bulls, and I won't be able to go with this bullfighting game as hard as I want to go at it. So just made the switch, and I've been really fortunate and happy to have success at it and get good feedback from all the guys, knowing I'm doing a good job. And there's not much of a better feeling than protecting one of your buddies when they hit the ground and they're helpless, and you can step in there and take that big bull away from them.
I always like it when you guys jump over top of them. I've seen that a couple times. Just like, oh shit, if that thing rears up his head, he's gone.
He's gone, yeah. The name of the game lots of times too, which people don't really understand, like from the outside of it. We always see the bullfighters always with their hands on the top of their heads. So what we're doing there is that bull's got his head down, he can keep his feet moving. If you can get your hands on his head, that makes him pop his head straight up in the air. Okay. And when his head's straight up in the air, he can't move his front feet. So you kind of stall them, and that when they rear up like that, their front feet aren't moving. It stalls them enough to let that guy, crawl away or get away just in that half a second or millisecond instant. That's what that's a big thing that can help us.
So here's a question then for you: when the guy gets stuck on the bull, his hand stuck in the rope, what's the objective?
So when a guy gets hung up in the bull rope, it's when his hand rolls over. So the way that they pull their ropes, if you can come off, say he's a right-handed guy, if you can jump off the right side, that hand hold's big enough where it can come out. Your hand can slide out. Okay. That there's a block on the side. So if you're a right-handed guy and you come off to the left side, that block totally locks you into to your bull rope. So that's when those hang-ups come into play. So your hand totally rolls over and you can't open your fingers to get out of the rope. So our objective as bullfighters, there's usually a team of us, usually 3. First guy in, we'll try to get a hold of that bull. Same thing. Get your hands on his head. Try to get his attention, because normally they're spinning. And you try to get them slowed down spinning, or try to get them going straight, so that when your teammate then can jump over top. And what we like to do is you reach under with your arm underneath that hand that's totally locked in there. And that's how you see those guys when they jump up on there and they're kind of holding on to the side. You see the bullfighters got to hold the tail of the rope and they're locked in.
Yeah.
So you get your arm up underneath their arm so it takes the pressure off of that block, and then you try to just work that kind of like, untying a knot. You're trying to work that rope while that thing's bucking and blowing and bailing you all around. Your job is to try to unlock his hand from that rope. So it's really a team effort with your guys, and you'll see lots of times somebody get knocked out of the way, and just kind of at that point it's just controlled chaos, trying to slow everything down to make sure that you can make sure that those guys are safe.
It's definitely a dangerous thing that you're jumping in there and jumping in front of a 2,000-pound animal. If a guy's hand's locked in there and you can't get it out, you're on the bull too.
Yeah, you're interact. Yeah, that's and that's what we sign up for, man. As a bullfighter, and that's kind of what I like about it, is just like right from the get-go, right as an hour before that event starts or when that event starts, I know it's game on, man. I don't give a shit about anything else. It's time to get in the zone and be ready to do whatever it takes to make sure that those guys are 100% okay and they can keep going down the road. And as a former bull rider, I know how hard it is when you're hurt or you're injured to try to make a living and try to do that. So there's always just that added stuff for me, knowing the mindsets of the guys, and it just makes me take my job that much more serious and make sure that I'm literally doing everything that I can possible to put myself in the way of those guys having to get hurt.
Do you and your brother teach this too?
Yeah, my brother's been a very big teacher to me, and same as my dad, and both brothers, cousins. Like I said, the full family of bullfighters on my side. So I've been lucky and fortunate to have some really good coaches, some of the best in the game. But yeah, we put on our annual school in Prince Albert every year. We teach bull riding and bullfighting, just the basics, and kind of for all levels, guys just getting into it. We get from every type of person who's never even seen bull riding before, to people that have seen it on TV, to advanced guys that are just trying to hone their game a little bit. So it's fun. It's something I enjoy. It's some way to give back to the sport that's been so good to me, and try to either mold new people into the game or help those guys that are in the game get to that next level.
You're a Saskatchewan boy, huh?
Dasky boy, through and through, PA.
I'm in Swift Current.
Oh, yeah. Go through wall, Brad Wall.
Yeah. Fuck that guy. When is your next school that you're going to put on then?
Well, depending on all this COVID whatnot's going on, we usually do it. We have an annual bull riding, the Clooney Cooper Memorial in Prince Albert. So we usually do it like the Tuesday, Wednesday before that. So it's usually end of April, start of May. So we haven't set the date. We had to cancel this year, but we haven't set the date for next year. But that's usually when it is, end of April, start of May.
If you do it next year, I'm gonna come do it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're more than welcome. That's the thing. Like I said, it's not about like becoming a professional off the start. You know what I mean? It's about just the experience and learning and getting around. There's guys that come that have seen it on TV, and as soon as those bulls start running in the bucket chutes and shit, it's like, holy fuck, this is the real deal. Like that, your heart starts rolling, and once you get in that arena and you get close to that situation, it's shit gets real and things start happening. So it's, for me, it's just getting people around it, seeing the bulls, seeing the trying to control that hyperactivity that's going on all around you at all those times. And it's fun. It's fun. It's something that I like to do. I like to like I say, give back to the sport and show people kind of what we do.
So when we have the PBR that comes to Swift Current, there's 3 of you fellows down in there, and then there's the guy that talks.
Yeah.
Is he trained as well, or is he just there to ramble on?
No, he's not. Like, I mean, everybody in the sport kind of has. There's nobody that's just brand new that's come around that has no idea what about the sport. So those guys are the entertainers, right? Okay. They would be called the clowns, and there's always the misconception of the bullfighters being the clowns and the funny guys. And our job as the cowboy protection athletes out there is to take care of the bull riders, and we're that's our job 100% of the time, no matter what's going on. The entertainer, his job is to entertain the crowd.
Oh, somebody's getting a phone call.
Low battery, and the sun just hit me right in the eyes. Did you see that?
You got low battery? You got that thing plugged in?
No, we're good. Yeah,
okay.
But yeah, the entertainer, his job is to entertain, right? So two total different jobs. We're all out there in the arena, and you've seen the PBRs and rodeo events. It's a production, right?
Yeah.
There's always moving parts and always stuff going on. So our job is obviously very serious at all times, and their job is to entertain and have fun and tell the jokes. And like I say, there's people that definitely know kind of the different areas of the sport, and we're like a kind of a big family. So if somebody goes down out there, one of us bullfighters or one of the bull riders, something bad happens, you're going to see everybody try to jump in there and do what it takes. It's a very selfless lifestyle, and the people in it, like I say, we're all kind of family and all buddies and shit. So you'll see some wrecks go on and everybody trying to lend a helping hand.
I got a friend of mine in Strathmore, Alberta, that's been training to do bullfighting, I guess. His name's Justin Schmidt.
Okay.
And he looks like he's having a great friggin' time.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's good. It's rewarding because you're just taking care of everybody that's getting on the bull. You know what I mean? So it's not rewarding when you get mowed down and break your leg, or you take a shot for somebody and you're the one that gets super injured or gets hurt. But if everything goes smooth and everything rolls, it's a very fun atmosphere out there in the arena the whole time, with your buddies and that group, and just the reward of that feeling of just being able to take care of all your buddies it's cool. It's something that I've been doing it professionally now for over a year, but always had that background of it and always did it when I wasn't riding professionally. I was always trying to do it, but yeah, to do this has been very rewarding for me. It's been fun, very fun year.
So tell me how picking up gigs works. Are you like specifically employed by the PBR, or can you do anything?
No, I can do anything. It's a hard system to crack, and it's a contract act. So you're always getting hired by the different companies or people that are putting them on. So it's kind of a hard business to get into, to get hired at, because as a bull rider, you just put your hand in the rope and you win money and you get your points. Nobody can hold you back, right? This side of it, you have to get hired and kind of go through the steps of getting to that level and that top level. And there's the guys that are at the top that want to keep their job and not have anybody else come in there and take that over. So yeah, it's kind of like I don't know, any other job where you're trying to work your way up into the different stages of your career. So for me, I was fortunate enough to get a few PBR events last year, got hired to a few, and then it's kind of just stepping up to the plate and showing what you're made of when you're there, right? So I knew that I only had a few chances to show what I was made of and show what I could do and how good I could protect these guys, and just trying to take full advantage of it and be in the right place. And you can't do more than right, or more than your skill is. So I just jumped out there and did what I could, and was fortunate enough to gain the respect of the guys and got voted into the PBR Canada finals. So to get the finals, it's a voting system. So the top 35 guys vote for who they want to protect them out there. And like I said, I was fortunate enough to get that top 3 vote and get the finals last year. And then that got me all the top events in Canada on the tour for this year. So you kind of get that contract for the next year, which ended up being shit because there's no events going on. So, but yeah, it's just a huge honor. It was cool to get that that respect from the guys, and just kind of give you that confidence that you are doing the right thing and you're in the right place.
So the PBR is back open here in Canada. Very limited events. Are you doing them?
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. There's only we did a couple off the hop at the start of the year, and then COVID hit and we had to cancel everything. And I own a bucking bull company as well, Flying for Bucking Bulls. So I got a bunch of wild bulls around my house. So I ended up starting to have some practice pens and different things to try to keep the guys riding and keeping the bulls bucking. And ended up having a chat with the PBR and ended up having a PBR full-fledged sanctioned event right at my house, and followed all the guidelines of COVID and 150 people.
Wow.
separated, socially distanced. It was cool. It was badass. Yeah. So I got some money together, got some sponsors together, and ended up having a full-fledged PBR right in my backyard. And Lonnie West, Cadogan ended up winning that one. And then, we plan to keep doing some more of those. So that's kind of where the sport has went in Canada right now. Just everybody trying to stay afloat and try to do, smaller jackpot style events and have as much as we can and try to, the guys got to ride, the bulls got to buck, we got to do our jobs. Everybody's still got to make a living, even though we can't, right now, and everybody's taking a hit. So everybody's kind of banding together and just doing what we can to get events going. So we had that made for TV only event in Lethbridge, 3D Bull Riding, PBR Canada, Monster Energy Tour event. That was at Lethbridge NMAX Center, no fans, just guys riding bulls, kind of like a practice pen, but it was a full-fledged monster event with points and money, and that was cool, just to get back onto TV and show the world that we're still here, we ain't going nowhere, and not falling for this COVID shit and life that we're supposed to live now. We're ready to roll, we're ready to go back, and the sport of bull riding, I think is, we were the first ones to go back and first sport to get back to it with no fans. And hopefully we can keep breaking ground and being the first ones to do whatever it takes to get us back to normality.
You know what I heard was a surefire cure for COVID?
What?
Pendleton Whiskey.
Pendleton Whiskey, damn right. I agree. Yeah, it's gotta be.
Also, if people want to watch any of these events, they're all on an app too. It's called Ride Pass.
Yeah, Ride Pass is cool. It's like it's a digital streaming network for PBR, Western lifestyle. There's all sorts of stuff on there from our highest PBR events, the Unleash the Beast Tour, to PBR Canada events, PBR Australia events, down to high school rodeos, and it's just a cool digital networking place that we can kind of show what we're doing and what we got going on. And I'm on there all the time watching old events and highlights and just kind of staying up to date on what's going on all across the world.
When the pandemic hit, it was interesting to see what TSN picked up and put on TV.
Yeah,
because every Tuesday and Thursday there was, I don't think they were new. Some of them were because there was no fans, but they tossed like a PBR global event on there or something, whatever the heck's going on. And then they had the team thing, which I really liked.
Yeah, that team thing was cool. Yeah, that was brand new. Yeah.
Again, Team Pendleton Whiskey.
Team Pendleton Whiskey.
But I liked the team thing. It was fun.
Yeah, I like the team aspect too, and it kind of goes back to like the global cups, like that we were a part of, where you ride for your country. So we had one in Canada, had one in Australia, and it was 6 or 7 of the top from each country riding against each other. And that was the first team aspect that I was ever a part of. And it just went off without a hitch, and it was so much more fun for the guys involved. You're traveling with those guys, you make a ride, you're riding for somebody else on your team. There was just so much added aspects to those events that were a lot cooler for the guys, and it brought everybody together quite a bit. So when they came up with the team aspect with the monster challenges that they had here recently, I think you've seen it there too. Guys really stepping up to the plate, putting their stuff on the line to make sure that they weren't just riding for themselves; they were riding for their team. So I think it adds a lot to the sport, and I think it adds a lot to the following, to the fan base, to sponsors. There's a lot of avenues that I think it's going to open up if they ever do follow through with that full team aspect.
I'd like to see them branch the team open a little bit too. Like they have a coach, they have a sponsor, they have a manager, but I didn't notice that any specific team had specific bullfighters.
No, yeah. So the bullfighters at that were, they're the same ones through the whole thing. So that, that's the thing. There's so many different jobs or things that can go on within that team aspect. If one team doesn't want that guy out there because he thinks he's riding for another team, or all that sort of stuff. But our job as bullfighters is never, it doesn't matter who's riding or what's going on. You're always doing your job to make sure that those guys are safe, and if you're not, you won't be there very long. So that side of it, I think, it will always kind of stay the same. But the other aspect of it, like you say, that the trainers and the doctors and the mental coaches, and there's just so many different ways that other sports have went that could play into that side of it with bull riding as well. And drafting and college, university. There's just a crazy opening that could come about if it ever did go that way. I think it's pretty cool if it could go that way.
I think they should involve the bullfighters, though, because it would add a whole different dimension to the whole thing. I'm not saying that anybody that's doing that event would like sandbag anybody, because shit, like somebody could get killed. But if you're on Team Canada, you, your brother, and somebody else, you guys are going to work all that much harder for your team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's the bias part of it, where you have to, as in my job, same as my brother. So when I was riding, my brother was a bullfighter on that main tour, right?
Okay.
So that was what he always got all the time was like, hey, you gonna try a little bit harder for him because he's your brother? And he's like, man, all these guys are my brothers. Shit, I grew up with these guys. I've traveled with them every weekend. As much as he is blood brother, these are my boys. It doesn't matter if he's in the wreck or somebody else is in the wreck. I'm going to do what it takes to make sure that they're okay. So it's, once you're in the heat of the moment, you're not really thinking about who the guy is that's nodding his head. But I understand what you're saying, where it could be, that country pride or that other aspect on the line, right? Where it could come into play. But I mean, who knows? Who knows where it could go? It could be a total game changer for the sport.
It could make you guys some money too, right? At the same time, like you're on a team, the team's got sponsors. Maybe you guys could bring in a different sponsor that they couldn't get. Who knows?
Yeah. That's another aspect of it too, is guys will have, if it went that way, have guaranteed contracts. You sign your contract with the team and you're on that team. Whereas of right now, you get hurt January 1, you don't make, you're done for the year. You make $0 as a bull rider. You have no income or no contract to fall back on that you're guaranteed an amount of money. Whatever you win, that's what you make. So if you're out, you ain't making no money.
Well, it'd be good because it'd be interesting because when the bull riders ride in the bull, that's the guy. It's like in baseball, everybody's watching the pitcher, and then you guys would be like the catcher. Nobody gives a flying fuck what the catcher's doing. As long as they win, right? But it would add a different aspect to it where these guys do matter, actually, and people are paying attention to what you're doing.
Yeah, what's going on.
Yeah,
it's going to be cool. But, like you say, all different aspects out there.
Hopefully it happens. If not, I'm not going to hate on it.
It is what it is.
So you've been going down the road doing this stuff for a really long time then.
Yeah, dude. My whole life, legit. It was kind of like having a dad that played in the NHL. You were never forced into it by any means, or never, you were never forced. Yeah, like I say, forced into it to be that in this lifestyle or a bull rider or a bullfighter. But it's all me and my brothers. It's all we ever knew. It's all we ever did. We grew up on the road, following my dad around to different events all across Canada and across the world. So it was really all we ever knew and all we ever wanted to do, So I played hockey and a bunch of different sports through high school and through my youth and stuff. But bull riding, bullfighting, just anything to do with bucking bulls was what just always intrigued me and what I always wanted to do. So literally my whole life, it's been rodeo and bull riding.
You must have seen some wild stuff then.
There's been some good times. There's as much as anybody, I'm sure, that's been in this lifestyle a long time. It's just kind of like a bunch of gypsies or professional circus folk. We're kind of live on the road, and your road family becomes your family, and do what it takes to get by.
You got a good story for me that's not going to get you arrested?
No, probably not a good one that won't get me arrested. There's lots of good ones, and that's the thing. Like, there's, I always get that question because everybody's always asking, like, what happens on the road and life on the road. And when I was young and whatnot, you can imagine the the crazy stuff that would go on before I was married and had kids and whatnot. But yeah, it's just you couldn't pinpoint one that was more over the top than the other one. It's always just, like I said, it's kind of like an athlete lifestyle, but there's that rock and roll side to it too, where you're dealing with a bunch of egotistical bull hands that don't really give a shit about anyone or anything, and you're putting your life on the line every time that you nod your head. So outside of it, nothing else really mattered, or no one else really mattered. It was just game on, doing what we got to do day in and day out to stay afloat and stay winning. And you never really thought about anything else other than riding bulls and doing fun stuff.
And we'll leave it at that. Just so you don't get in trouble. I got this weird. I don't know if it's a fantasy, but you guys are riding down the road, getting on bulls, drinking beers, and banging chicks. That's. But it's obviously not
fantasy,
like.
I guess that's the dream, isn't it? Not for I think that's what you think it's like when you're like 12 or 15. You're like, oh yeah, I can't wait, man. I'm gonna be the best bull rider in the world and do all this cool shit. Then you just get the shit beat out of you. And you're crippled up at 30.
I feel like there's more jumping on the bull, drinking beer, and maybe popping a couple of fucking Advils and getting ice packs on you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, lots of time spent in sports medicine.
So you're married now and you have kids.
Yeah. I've been married for since 2014. Yeah, 6 years this year. We just had our anniversary. I got 2 kids, 4-year-old and a coming 2-year-old. Should be 2 in November. Layla and Ruby, 2 little girls, and yeah, that's pretty cool. That's what's been keeping me busy through this pandemic style. Just been chasing them around and trying to keep up with what they're up to around the house and all that. So yeah, it's been pretty amazing.
I think I got married in 2014 too.
Good year.
What month?
August 20th.
Okay.
We just had our
June 14th.
Nice. Yeah, similar.
Yeah. How often is it that you get 2 guys named Tanner on a podcast?
Yeah, they're 28, 38, 10 years apart, married the same year.
Yeah. I got 2 kids too. I got a 9-year-old daughter and a 10-month-old son.
Cool. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Huh? It's pretty life-changing, just, everything that comes along with it. Everybody says nothing's going to change, but yeah, you don't think about yourself anymore. Everything I do is for them.
I go to a bunch of shit every day that I don't really want to do.
Yeah.
But I do because I have to now. Actually, I don't. Yeah. I kind of like my job now. I got a fun job. I build grain augers and grain conveyors.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah, I get to fuck around with tools all day, and that's kind of fun. And then I get to do this. Talk shit on that people may or may not listen to. Who knows?
Yeah, may or may not want to hear.
Well, with the 3 guys that I've already had on, there was a common theme that nobody ever commented on, and it was barrel racers.
Yeah.
What is it with the barrel racers? I'm gonna get.
I don't know, man. I'm not gonna go there either. But
damn it!
I think it's just I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to go there either.
Maybe I'm just gonna have to find a
there's
barrel
good,
racer.
There's bad, just like any other sport or any other event. There's good and there's bad.
I had Radford very close to saying something about it, and then he bit his tongue pretty quick. He said he'd be the most hated man on the tour.
Yeah, I thought he would. I thought he might get into it, but no, yeah.
Well, he told some good stories about some scraps from the time he got beat up.
Yeah, he's pretty scrappy. He's tough. He was a little bit younger than me, and I was kind of gone to the States when he was really starting to make his way in the pros. But yeah, it was always well known, and you'd always hear about him beating up some stock contractor or something, or getting in a fight with a judge. Or
told us that story, the stock contractor.
But he's honed it in now to where he's not just going somewhere to scrap or to do something dumb. He's figured out that he can use that anger and that that extra aggression to win a bunch of money riding bulls. So he's really grown in the sport, and he's became one of the best that we've seen up here in Canada. And he's got nothing but good things coming for him in the future.
He's doing a heck of a job right now.
Oh yeah. That's the thing. The three guys that you named, like you said, top 3 in Canada, top 3 in the world. Butters has been the top Canadian in the world the last few years, and it's just cool to see guys like that, guys that guys that you care for, that have a lot of dedication to the sport, have success in the sport, and we're all buddies. We all get to do it together, so we all cheer each other on just as much as we cheer on ourselves.
So what got me on this path? This is usually a combat sports show, but we've drifted off into this, and people seem to really like it. But what got me onto it was I was watching a PBR. It was an old PBR event, and they were talking about this guy named Chase Outlaw.
Yep.
One, most badass name of all time.
Yeah, great name.
It's not. It's definitely changed from something else. His real name is probably like Bruce Smith, but Chase Outlaw, amazing name. And then they told the story about him getting his face fucked up. Like his face was shattered.
Yeah.
Just the pure fact that man can get back on something and go back and do it after something like that is amazing.
No, like you say, you're a combat sports show, and the guys getting on, man. That's combat sports, 100% bull riding, and it kind of fits into all different realms of extreme sports. It can play a part in any other sport that you can think of. It's got all the different aspects of athleticism, of toughness, competition. When I was telling you about those bull ridings that I'm doing at my house, I sell those tables. I have to keep my numbers down, but I sell those tables that have 10 people per table, and they sit right at the edge of the arena. So these people have seen bull riding, quite a bit through their life, or from in the stands. But when you're up close and personal, when you can feel that bull breathe, or you can hear the bullfighters and the bull riders grunting, you're that close to the action. It's crazy everybody coming and calling, and just how intense and how cool it is. You gain a fan just instantly from just being around it that much. And same thing with Chase. The guys in it, you realize when you start to understand the athleticism and the desire and drive that these guys have, and that no matter what the hell it takes, I'm still going to get on no matter what goes on, whether I smash my face all apart, whether I should have died. They're going to keep coming back. They're going to keep fighting. And that's just the nature of the sport, the nature of the beast, and what these guys go through every single day, to get their mind ready to get on that next one, knowing that it could be the last one. It's combat through and through, and you're in a battle, you're in a fight every time that you climb into that buck and shoots and nod your head for one.
If anybody wants to know what happened, just Google Chase Outlaw broke his face on Google.
Yeah.
And it'll come up with an actual picture, like the skeleton x-ray of what they did to it. It's friggin' insane.
Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah, and it's, and Chase, that's the thing with Chase. Chase is a really good friend of mine. Chase, we got on tour kind of around the same time when we were younger, and him and Ty Posbon were really, really, really close, really good friends. And Chase is just a badass dude through and through, and he lives up to that name, Outlaw, every single day. He lives by the code, lives by whatever, lives off the cuff of his sleeve. He does what he wants when he wants, and it was heartbreaking to see that happen to him. And then, just the comeback story, and then winning that same event where he almost died that year before, or 2 years before, whatever it was. And then, the guy's had 5 or 6 shoulder surgeries, and that's not just the only injury that he's had. He's had just over and over and over. He's just a little guy, and just the grit and determination that he has, it embodies a lot of the bull riders and everybody in the sport. It just kind of shows what that be cowboy, or that mental attitude has to be to do this sport, especially at that top level.
Yeah, I've messaged him for probably 8 months, and I've tried to get him to come on the show. He literally likes every message that I send him and never responds.
Yeah. That's the thing. You never know you never know what you're gonna get when you talk to Chase. You know, it's always entertaining. It's always interesting. Kind of like when you're talking to Brock. You never know what the hell their response is gonna be, or what the hell they're gonna do, if they're gonna shake your hand or punch you in the face.
You never know. Hopefully he comes on. Hopefully he comes on at some point, because I'd love to talk to him.
Yeah, he's an eccentric dude that's been there and done that, and you know, proud to say one of my better friends and a badass dude all around.
He's probably got some fucking great stories too.
Oh yeah, through the roof. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably not like me though. He's not going to share very many of them.
No. The other guy I was actually told to talk to was another Tanner. Tanner Milan.
Yeah, Tanner Milan's badass. He's a bulldogger.
Yeah.
So yeah, steer wrestler. Really, really cool guy. Been around the game for a long time. Family in the sport. Wildcat as well. I think that's the thing. You're talking with Brock and Jared and Dakota. You know, you're kind of talking to the top guys in the game, so you're going to get all the references of kind of the same personalities, same mindsets as those guys. So they're only going to lead you to the top guys or the best guys.
Yeah.
And the guys that you just named, that's what you're talking about right there.
Well, before they even mentioned him to me, I was actually a fan, because I watched him at the Calgary Stampede, and he just murked this little steer in 3.6 seconds, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And he won the Stampede. But yeah, I was a fan ever since then.
He's Canadian champ in the NFR. Yeah, he's done it all. He's I'm probably biased towards it too, but in my opinion, one of the best bulldoggers there's ever been, and that could just be because he's my buddy, but went through a lot of crazy injuries of knees, and you know, and fought his way back. And I don't judge a person overly by their accomplishments in the arena. I judge them by who they are outside of the arena. And guys like Brock, guys like Jared, Dakota, Chase, Tanner Milan, guys like that you're talking about, those are guys that I'd go to battle with in any situation, not just in the rodeo world or the bull riding world, you know. And if it wasn't bull riding and rodeo brought us all together, but you know, that's not what makes us friends or makes us, you know, good buddies. It's you know, the outside of the arena and the people that those guys are. That's what I respect.
Now, is Tanner Milan still doing the damn thing?
I think so, as far as I know. Yeah, I haven't been. Like I said, I stopped rodeoing in like 2014 and just went strictly to the PBRs and went south that year and stayed down there for you know, 4 or 5 years back and forth, making the world finals and whatnot. But I had nothing. I didn't go rodeoing at all or do anything like that. But as far as I know, yeah, he's still rolling, still kicking ass.
I think he's the same age I am. Yeah,
probably. And that, like, the bull riding is probably your shortest career, bull riding and bareback riding. But like, you know, bulldogging and calf roping and saddle bronc riding and stuff like that, you can, you know, it's not as much of a wear and tear on your body or getting killed off every time that you nod your head. So you can, you know, do it for quite a bit longer. So yeah, I'm sure unless he's injured, I'm sure he's still rolling and still kicking ass.
Because he's a big bastard too, huh?
Yeah, big stout dog, big tough thing. He'd be a combat guy. I've heard some good fight stories about him too.
He's got to be 250.
Oh God, the bulldoggers, like the bulldoggers, the cliche is they're the linebackers of the sport. You know, they all are big stout dudes. You know, and you know, still very, very athletic and agile to be able to jump off a horse going that fast. And yeah, it's I like bulldogging. I like that side of it. I love that rodeo side of it. And the Milans, you know, really take the cake for me. And you know, there's the Cassidys and yeah, really good Canadian talent that same as Butters or the guys you're talking about, not just some of the best in Canada, but the best in the world. And you know, from small town Alberta or small town Saskatchewan, that have been to the top level of, you know, Madison Square Garden to New York City to Las Vegas, or you know, like all over the country, all over the world, and you know, probably come home and nobody really knows who they are or what they do, but in our sport, it's top of the game.
We're coming up to about the hour mark where I like to close this thing down. I've had a great time talking to you, but I did have some questions come in for you.
Okay.
I made that post like 45 minutes before I was going to talk to you, and I got a few questions that came in. I was surprised, but people seem to know who the fuck you are.
Randomly. Some do.
Has there ever been a time that you've actually been kind of scared bullfighting?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Every time you go out there, you're scared. Not scared that you're gonna get hurt or scared that something bad's gonna happen to you. Scared that you're gonna let one of your buddies get hurt. You know, and that was the same with bull riding. I wasn't scared of dying or scared of bucking off or scared of being hurt. I was scared of losing. You know, and it's same as any other sport. You have that mindset. You're a badass. You got to make sure that you're doing everything you can to get the job done. So, yeah, fear is a part of anything in life, and if you don't have fear, you know, whether it be your own self or for fear of failure, you're probably not in the right realm of your life. So, yeah, I have fear every time that I do it that you know, something bad could happen to one of my buddies, but I have the confidence in myself and backing, knowing that I've done everything I can and can do everything that I can to make sure that they're okay.
Next question. Is there one time that you've jumped in to help somebody or save somebody that actually stands out in your mind? Like maybe like a most memorable situation or something like that.
Yeah, it's tough. There's lots. We can go on my Instagram page or on my social media accounts, and there's a bunch of different aspects where I went in there and either took in a shot for a guy, or just made, you know, smooth pass through there that kept that guy safe. That a lot of people, you know, that don't know the sport or know the game that we're in, that wouldn't think it was like a big deal, but you did it. But there's nothing really that really stands out to me of one that's better than the other ones. It's just what stands out to me is just learning every day, you know, working with the guys that I'm working with and flowing through the motions smooth. Most of the times when we're doing the best job, you don't even know we're there. You know, that's when we're doing the best job. We'll just pick that bull up from the side. And in a different instance, if we weren't there, that guy would have got hurt. So yeah, just little things like that. When everything's flowing smooth and rolling right, you don't even know we're there. And then there's times when there's nothing else you can do but to lay on top of that bull's head and take the hit for the guy that's taking the hit. So yeah, there's definitely memorable ones that for me that I feel like I did the best job that I could, and then ended up taking that hit or something for a guy that was down and out, belly up, or laying on his back, unsuspecting of what was going to happen. And it's just every day there's something new. There's something you can learn and something that you can to work towards to be better.
This person obviously knows you, because I had to Google. I did a little bit of Google research before we talked. I did know you're a bull rider, but you gotta creep people's shit if you're gonna talk to them. Toughest bull you've ever been on?
Toughest bull I've been on, riding probably was, I got on Mickey Mouse at the World Finals my rookie year, 2014. Got an airtime a few times. Yeah, I don't know. They were when I was riding shitty and they were half good bulls, they were the toughest ones I've been on, you know. And then you'd be riding good, and you get on some of them tough ones, and I rode a lot of bulls that nobody else rode.
Yeah.
And you know, I was just in the zone at that time that if I would have been riding shitty, they would have been the toughest ones I got on. So yeah, I was fortunate to get on a lot of ranked bulls, a lot of the best bulls that we'd ever seen in the whole world, and try my best at them, and got past a few of them and got dusted on a few of them. But for me, it didn't matter what the hell they were or how they bucked. It was just climbing into that chute, whoever I was that day. Was going to happen. There's times you couldn't fucking make it out of the bucking chutes, and other times that you couldn't get bucked off.
I got a question. I didn't know that you were breeding bulls or doing whatever that is. Do you have one bull in your stable over there that really stands out?
Yeah, man, we've had some really good bulls over the years. Been fortunate to, you know, get into the game and kind of pick and choose from who I was buying cows from and whatnot. And had 3 bulls now from our company flying for bucking bulls in the last 4 years, been in the world finals. So some of the top bulls in the whole world, born and raised right here in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. And then right now we got a bull by the name of Drop Bear. He's a 4-year-old. Brock's been on him, Butters has been on him, all the top guys. And it's kind of shitty. This was his competition year where he could go and win money, and everything's been canceled, so he hasn't been able to go. But yeah, Finning Drop Bear from the Flying Ford Bucking Bulls. Hopefully you'll hear him in the upcoming year and so on.
Does your bull company have an Instagram page or anything like that?
Yeah, Flying Ford Bucking Bulls. We got an Instagram page. You can see all the bulls buck on there, and keep up to date with the different events that we go to, and different bulls that we own, and cows that you own, and the lineage of where they all come from, and all that sort of stuff. Kind of like race horses, you can trace their bloodlines back for years and years. And yeah, we're all over that on our Instagram page.
We got a couple more questions.
Perfect.
Greatest bull rider of all time?
The GOAT. Who's it gonna be? JB Mooney. Yeah, I'd have to say, just from watching, and like, again, you're probably biased, and the old guys are gonna say that, that guy's not the best and whatever else, but in his heyday, that guy rode everything, did everything that you can do in the sport. In my opinion, greatest of all time. Longevity wise, he's rode through everything. He's still going. Justin McBride's also another good one. Tough Hedeman. Owen Washburn was probably the GOAT for tall guys. He was a really tall guy. But yeah, I think, in my opinion, the best bull rider of all time, in his day and in his time, that I ever got to see was JB Mooney.
He could
Don't tell him I said that, though.
He could be Lane Frost's doppelganger too.
Yeah.
They look like they could be related.
Yeah.
That you're the second person that said him.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You're not alone.
Yeah.
Which he's still riding too.
Yeah, he's still riding. He's been just beat to heck his whole career, and broke everything there is to break. And yeah, he's a warrior. He's a cowboy through and through.
The bulls are in play here too. So what is the greatest bucking bull of all time?
I don't know. Like, bulls have total different bucking styles. So the greatest one that the guys would think might be different than the greatest one that the contractors might think, and that might be different from what the fans think. So you got bulls like Bushwhacker, Little Yellow Jacket, Bruiser that have won multiple world titles, and they all have different bucking styles. Like Bushwhacker was a lot harder, a lot more difficult to ride than them other two. So I don't know. The best one that I ever got on was Airtime. I think.
Heard that name before.
Letting the air out of a balloon. I never did get on Bushwhacker. I got on Bruiser a couple times, but yeah, in my opinion, the one that I tied my hand to that was the best that I could say I think was probably the best bull was Airtime for one that I'd been on.
I'm a fan of Heartbreak Kid.
Other ones too. No, I never got on Heartbreak Kid.
Never got on. I like that bull just because I like the name.
Yeah.
I feel like he broke a lot of people's hearts.
Yeah.
We'll get you out of here real quick. The Ty Posbon Foundation, what's the website?
TyPosbon.com. Yeah, then you can go on there and check out everything from our store to goals, initiatives. There's resources on there for anybody that's dealing with any types of issues that need somewhere to go or somebody to talk to. There's everything on our site there.
Is there a way that people can get involved and help?
Just, buying our merch, donating. We're certified through CRA, charitable status. So, yeah, any type of support we can get, tell your friends, word of mouth, just, any way to grow it and keep us sustainable and keep us taking care of Western lifestyle participants. That's the best way that you can help out with that.
All right. let's wrap this fucker up. Ladies and gentlemen, Tanner Byrne. That's the final shot.